How's it going, everyone? I got a new weapon light for my SD9VE. I figured put a budget weapon light on a budget gun. I have shown this gun off in my videos before. Just a quick reminder, SD9VE, small upgrades. It does have the Apex trigger spring kit in here, along with the newer polymer flat face trigger. I did, of course, update the plastic sights to standard metal M&P sights and the extended takedown lever, and I did upgrade the guide rod to a stainless steel guide rod. Other than that, it's pretty much a factory SD9VE. I picked up this Aimsport from Primary Arms, 500 lumen light. It uses one CR123A battery. It is non-rechargeable style, so it's just a one-time use battery. Of course, you can get several to have extras. For $9.99, not a bad price at all for this light. It is a standard weapon light. I have not used it with the gun as far as going out to the range to shoot it, but I'm pretty confident it's going to hold up. It's got a pretty basic design for it, so I don't really see too much going wrong with it. The way this works is it has these push buttons right here. It's like a little lever. The one on the opposite side goes down at the same time. It puts that little Picatinny rail in position of the actual rail, the little stop for it. So if you want to take it off, you just pull that down, slide it out. And of course, the opposite for putting it in, just start it, push those down, slide it into place, let it go. Just kind of move it back and forth for it to lock in, and you're good to go. To activate it, it does have these pedals right here. Not really pedals, but it's more of a push button. One thing I don't like, it does that. You turn it on and off, it's strobe, turn it on again, now it's a standard light. There's no mode that this has where you can just have it be one or the other. I never use strobe, I just don't find any use for it. So I would always want to have just the lights. Now, it's not like a pressure pad or anything. As you see, it's an actual switch. So you do have to actually press it. Depending on how you hold the gun, thumbs forward, it's right there by your thumb. You could just turn it on or off, or just with your index finger, if you can reach. I guess it all just depends on your hands. But again, $9.99, great deal. This does come with little filters. It's got a red, a yellow, and I think a blue. But quite honestly, it's a gimmick. The red, when you put it on, and you would put it on by taking off the whole headlamp, between the actual cone and the lens, you would just kind of put that little disc in there. It's just a colored disc is all it is. Position it and then screw it back on. The red makes everything look pink, the light itself looks like purple, but the reflection of wherever you're aiming is like a light pink, so it doesn't even look like an actual red color that you would use for like night vision. It looks more like a Christmas color. The green is about the same, so it doesn't actually look green. The only thing that looks green is the little lens, but when you actually put the light through it, it looks like a really light Christmas green. Nothing anyone I could ever imagine would actually use. It's way too bright for night use. I mean, it is a little bit less bright than the standard white light, but it's extremely bright for what it's supposed to be. But again, $9.99. I'm not even going to keep them. I'm going to throw them away. It does come with one extra little rubber O-ring, because it does have an O-ring right here, and this is just a pretty straightforward twist on and off. And the O-ring, of course, will help keep it secure. It's right there, you can see that. It'll just help keep it secure, won't let it just kind of come undone. And I'm sure it does something for some water resistance. I'm not sure if it's waterproof, but again, the design is so simple. I would feel comfortable using this like in the rain, maybe not submerging it, but I wouldn't be worried about getting a little bit of water on it, especially with that O-ring there. But this is it, the new addition to my budget carry gun. I say budget carry gun, but I've never carried this gun. I would use this more of as a home defense. alternative if I didn't have my original one with me, my main gun with me. Or if I ever take a trip somewhere where I just feel like having an extra gun in an extra area would be good. Like maybe I'm going to visit somebody and I want to have my gun with me, but I also want to have something like in the car or in home. But this is a really nice gun. I'm glad I got the light. I think it just matches the theme of it being everything budget friendly. So these have gone up in price. I did see that the new SD9s came out that look like the SD9VE because it does have the two-tone. It does have these serrations, but on the SD9 new version, not the value edition, these do look deeper, and the gray looks a little bit more silver. And it does have the new 2.0 trigger, like the nicer, flatter trigger. Not this style, but the ones that the new MMPs came out with. That one was running, I've seen them locally for $299. I picked this gun up for, I believe it was $195, and then I did the small upgrades for it. So very, very budget friendly. Even if you're getting a brand new one, $300 is not a lot for what you're getting. Now these days you can get something like a G2 or a G3 from Taurus as an alternative, but I think this is just a better gun for a more full-size feel. This is a Glock 19 size, and if you're looking for something that's just going to work, you don't have to worry too much about it. It's very simple to clean. This would be it. No fancy designs. This can all easily wipe off. It's a very slick look to it, but without being as plain as a Glock. The grip is a little on the stiff side, but again, for what you're paying versus what you're getting, it's still an awesome value for the gun. Some people do get the rubber Hogue grips on them. They say they're a lot more comfortable to shoot that way. I wouldn't know, I've never purchased one. I might get something similar, some sort of sleeve, just for comfort. The gun itself functions flawlessly. I've never had issues with this gun that I can recall, whether it was ammo or anything else, and it groups just fine. The one thing I don't like about these types of guns, but it's really more of a Smith & Wesson thing, are these witness holes. I get the idea behind them, but I just don't like that. It just allows gases to go through to another place for it to get dirty, and really it's not something I think people really need. You could always just check to see if it has a round in it, close it back up. It's not that difficult to check. So adding things like that, I just think takes away from the gun, but not the worst thing. Definitely not the worst thing. And as I mentioned, it is a budget gun, so I think in that respect, it definitely succeeds as a gun. Tell me what you think. Is this something that you would add to your collection? I mean, for $10, is it really not worth the effort to try it? And if you're going to be using it at home, as long as it works, isn't that what counts? Does it light up the room or the backyard? All right, this is the yard outside. This is the light on. As you can see, plenty. It's got more flood that you can't quite see in the video, but that's more than enough light. 500 lumens is definitely enough to light up any room, and even outdoors, just not a crazy distance. It's not gonna have the throw of 1,000 lumen light, but if you're fighting an immediate threat within 12-15 yards, 500 lumens is plenty to illuminate an intruder. You're not using it for target practice. You're not shooting small, fast-moving objects like squirrels or rabbits in your backyard, so you don't need that extra throw and all these crazy things. That's just my opinion. You let me know what you think. Would you put a nice $10 budget optic on a budget gun, or would you step it up to get something more like an Olight 4 used, maybe about $75? Write your comments below.